Welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I am Samira Ibrahim. Here are your top stories for today. Abducted Zamfara State schoolgirls regained freedom. National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency intercepted drugs worth 60 billion naira within 6 weeks. Yola High Court sentences 3 kidnappers to 50 years imprisonment each. On business, Naira falls across forex market as CBN suggests official rate has been adjusted. International scene. World Trade Organization's Director General Okonjo-Iweala assumes office. On sports, Omotayo exits. Aruna ready to compete at World Table Tennis Tournament in Qatar. Now the news in details. The abducted schoolgirls from Government Girls Secondary School Jangebi in Talata Mafara local government area of Zamfara State last Friday have regained their freedom. The Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Matawallan Maradun, who confirmed the news on Tuesday, said the girls were released with the help of repentant bandits without any ransom paid. Although the police had earlier said 317 girls were kidnapped, the governor put the number of girls recovered at 279.
What we did, that's why I'm always, defending my missions and my peace accord, because we have to use the repentant bandits, all of them, those that repented, they come, all of them, because they are not happy and they are very angry with what was transpired. So they come to me in my house, they saw my situation. Some of them were even crying that why this happens to me, with all what I have did to them, with all the support that I give to them after they repented. So they now went to the bush to search for those people. For the first 3 days, they are doing up and down. It was yesterday in the morning, 4 o'clock, we were all in my house when they decided to call them and give them the last warning, whether to release them or to go and fight them.
Was the ransom paid?
Nothing was paid. You see them, you ask them. Nothing. I always, and I repeated to them with in front of my spirit that I am not going to pay a single kobo, because those that kidnapped this, they too, they need fees. And they have sent their grievances, which the government is going to take action about that grievances that they have.
The released girls arrived at the Zamfara State Government House in Gusau early on Tuesday, wearing face masks, had their breakfast, and were scheduled to visit the hospitals for checks before reuniting them with their families. Governor Bello Matawalli thanked the God Almighty for their release. He said his administration will continue to negotiate with bandits, some who may have been involved in the abduction, and convince them to accept a peace deal. The governor also noted that the released girls will undergo counseling and appreciated all Nigerians for their prayers and messages to the state government. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has celebrated the return of the abducted Zamfara schoolgirls shortly after the girls arrived at the state government house Gusau. Expressing his excitement via his official Twitter page, President Muhammadu Buhari joined the affected families and the people of Zamfara State in welcoming and celebrating the release of the abducted students of GGSS Jangebi, adding that the news brings overwhelming joy. The president said he is pleased that their ordeal has come to a happy end without any incident, pointing out that his administration is working hard to bring an end to this grim and heartbreaking incident of kidnapping in the country. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Defense and Deputy Chairman, Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, Senator Aliyu Magatakardawa Mokko, has condemned the wanton killings of innocent citizens by bandits in Ilela, Amarawa, and Gatawa towns in Ilela and Sabon Birni local government areas, as well as other parts of the state and Nigeria in general. Suspected kidnappers has in the past 2 days struck at the two towns, killing dozens of people as well as rustled various livestock. The bandit had also kidnapped several persons from the two towns, while many others were maimed and internally displaced. This notorious and guns-wielding bandit had unleashed such attacks in other parts of the state, as well as other parts of Nigeria, especially the north. Meanwhile, following the stakeholders meeting on security and education, authorities in Sokoto State on Monday closed all boarding schools outside the state capital for security reasons. The state governor, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has closed schools for a week. The move comes in the wake of the escalation of student abductions in northern states. In a statement signed by the Special Assistant to the Governor on Media, Muhammad Bello said all teachers from rural areas will be transferred to their home areas to teach these students in round-trip schools in their cities. Police in Katsina State killed 9 suspected bandits and recovered the sum of 3.6 million naira as ransom for the release of the kidnapped Igbo man. The police public relations officer of the state command, SP Gambo Isa, disclosed this while briefing newsmen at the state police command. Our Katsina state correspondent, Suraj Aliu Lami Manumfashi, has more details on this story.
SP Gambo Isa said the police patrol team attached to Paskari Division in their routine patrol along Funtua Yashe Road accosted the trio of Lolo Duna, age 40 years, was Mohammed Lawal Babuga, age 22 years, and Husseini Abubakar, age 30 years, all of Kukulmi village of Bungudu local government area of Zamfara state, who are suspected to be among the notorious members of syndicate of bandits and kidnappers that are terrorizing Katsina and Zamfara states. He said they were intercepted on their way back to Zamfara state from Kaduna after collecting ransom money from the relatives of one kidnapped victims, and in the course of investigation, the suspect confessed to the commission of the offense, and the ransom money amounting to 3.6 million naira were recovered.
Arrest of 3 members of notorious syndicate of bandits, kidnappers, and recovery of ransom money, the sum of 3,600,000. On the 25th of February 2021 at about 1300 hours, police patrol team attached to Paskari Division, while on routine patrol along Funtua Ankara Road, accosted the trio of one Lawali Duna, male age 40 years, Muhammad Lawali Babuga, 22 years, Hussein Abubakar, 30 years, all of Kunkurumi village, Bungudu local government area of Zamfara state.
The police spokesman also explained that the command succeeded in arresting one Usman Ahmed of Sabon Barka Road of Dandime local government area of Katsina State, suspected to be a notorious member of kidnap for ransom syndicate. According to Gambo Isa, the suspect called one Rayyan Musa of Gagari quarters of Dandime local government through his GSM line and intimidated him to go to Benungwari forest and deliver the sum of 2 million naira or risk being kidnapped. When he was trailed and arrested, he said he did it in play. Also, the command succeeded in arresting one Umar Abubakar alias Makwa, age 27 years, of Tigal legal village of Paskari local government, who confessed that he is among the members of the bandit and the kidnap who are terrorizing Paskari, Dandimi and the Sabwa local government area of Katsina State and Zaria of Kaduna State. The suspect said he collected the ransom of 600,000, 300,000 respectively from the victim's family and confessed to have participated in cattle rustling at Dansadau, Maru local government area of Zamfara state. In another development, the command, in collaboration with Nigerian army, jointly raided a bandit camps at behind Kuzarawa and the Gidan Gambo village of Sapana local government area, and in the operation, they succeeded in neutralizing 8 bandits, recovered 9 burnt motorcycle and 1 AK-47. The police public relations officer, however, said that a police patrol team attached to anti-kidnap unit arrested one Saidu Ahmed, age 27 years, of Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, who is notorious fraudster and impersonator in military camouflage. The suspect confessed to have defrauded and deceitfully collected a Peugeot 206 car from one Umar Abba of Kolam Motors, Kano State, and came to Katsina with the intent to sell it. From Katsina, Sirajo Dallami Malamfashi for SBTV News.
The attention of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has been drawn to an advert circulating on Instagram and probably other social media platforms, claiming that it's official. Nigeria finally got 50,000 slots for Hajj 2021 1442 after Hijrah. The advert is calling on intending pilgrims to deposit to secure their Hajj seats. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria hereby notifies the general public that the said information is false. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has neither notified NAHCON of any plans to conduct the 2021 Hajj nor the number of slots allocated to the country. When such communication takes place, NAHCON will not hesitate to officially disclose the news and its plan on distribution of slots to respective states. The Chairman Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Alhaji Zikrullah Kulli Hassan, hence seizes this medium to warn Nigerian intending pilgrims against falling into the hands of fraudsters in the name of Hajj or Umrah registration. The Chairman, Chief Executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, has said that the agency has confiscated drugs estimated at over 60 billion naira across the country within 6 weeks. He also called on religious leaders to support the fight against drug abuse to prevent Nigerian youth and women from getting into it. A statement issued by the NDLEA Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said General Buba Marwa stated this during a courtesy call on Governor Umaru Ahmadu Fintiri of Adamawa State while on familiarization and assessment tour of the state command. During the visit, Governor Fintiri said government at all levels should join hands with the NDLEA in the war against drug abuse before it destroys Nigeria. He also promised to continue supporting the drug war by building a rehabilitation center for the agency and creating drug control committees in all the 21 local government areas of the state. Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission on Monday stormed some petrol filling stations in the metropolis following unusual queues noticed in the state, only to discover hoarding of the product by the marketers. The executive chairman of the commission, Barrister Muhi Magajiri Mingadu, who led the team of the operations department of the anti-corrupt agency and other relevant stakeholders, said the move became imperative following a series of complaints by the members of the public to the commission. Reports said that during the special operation, the team visited over 20 filling stations located at Tarauni, Maiduguri Road, Western Bypass and Hadija Road respectively. A statement issued by the Commission media consultant Noura Ahmed said the anti-corrupt body embarked on the raiding after securing a court order, and to its surprise, most of the petrol filling stations visited were discovered to be holding the commodity. Kano State Consumer Protection Council on Sunday intercepted a truck load of trailer transporting a milk product earlier involved in fire outbreak, but the products were discovered to have been repackaged and on their way back into the market, which prompted the council to seize the items believed to have effect on the health of general public. In the same vein, the council also intercepted a vehicle importing fake drugs into the state along Wafa, Fage local government area of Kano State. Preliminary investigation revealed that the drugs are mostly men's sexual enhancement drugs without NAFDAC registration number. The council recorded the success after some patriotic citizens tipped them up about the two cases, leading to possible arrest of the product capable of causing harm to the health and lives of the people in the state. The federal government has taken a bold step to boost science and engineering infrastructure development. It has invoked the section of the Act establishing the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, prescribing how it should be funded. The section, which has been observed in the breach for 29 years, says the establishment of NASENI will now become operational following President Muhammadu Buhari's directive. The President has ordered the Federal Inland Revenue Service to remit the levy turnover of commercial companies to the agency. The deduction of the levy affects commercial companies with 100 million naira turnover. According to NASENI Establishment Act 2004, a 0.25% of the levy on turnover collected by the FIRS should be remitted to the agency. The letter to the FIRS follows a meeting of the governing board of Naseni, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari in his capacity as the chairman of the agency's board. Yola High Court, presided over by Mr. Justice Nathan Musa, has sentenced 3 kidnapped kingpins to 50 years imprisonment each for conspiracy, kidnapping, and unlawful possession of firearms. 3 accused persons that were convicted include Lai Musa, Buba Sadiki, and Shanu Koris as first, second, and fourth defendant respectively, pleaded guilty to a 4-count charge brought against them by the state. In first count, the defendants were accused of having conspired to commit kidnapping, contrary and punishable under Section 249, subsection 1 of the Adamawa State Penal Code Laws 2018. Count 2 stated that the defendant on the July 6, 2020, in Yoldipati, Yola South Local Government Area of Adamawa State, entered the house of Aliyu Suleiman by climbing the fence, contrary and punishable under Section 343 of the Adamawa State Penal Code Laws 2018. Count 3 stated that the defendant on July 6, 2020, in Yoldipati, Yola South Local Government Area of Adamawa State, kidnapped one Aisha to Aliyu Suleiman with her 1-year-old son, Muhammad Aliyu Suleiman, and took them to Chambaji Hills, where they were kept for 2 days until a ransom of 1,010,000 naira was paid, contrary to Section 248A and punishable under subsection 248B of the Adamawa State Penal Code Laws 2018. In count 4, the defendant had unlawful possession of firearms, contrary and punishable under Section 399 of Adamawa State Penal Code Laws 2018. Delivering the judgment, Mr. Justice Nathan Musa said kidnapping has become one of heinous crimes in the country today. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has blamed the rise in the influx of criminal elements into the state to the quit notice served to the Fulani herdsmen in the southwest state. Addressing an emergency security council meeting in Lafia, the governor, for the second time in 2 months, raised alarm over the presence of Boko Haram elements in 3 local government areas of the state bordering the Federal Capital Territory, Benue, Kaduna, and Plateau states. Governor Sule identified the communities as Karu, which borders with the FCT, and Kaduna, Wamba local government area, bordering Plateau State, and Nasarawa local government area, sharing border with Benue State. He also announced that there is a large presence of unknown Fulani herdsmen that migrated the southwest state to Doma, Wamba, Karu, and Awe local government areas of the state. According to him, the activities of what is happening in the southwest, starting with Ondo State, and recently what has happened to Hausa Fulani community in Oyo State, has worsened the situation. Gombe State Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya on Monday affected a minor cabinet reshuffle. This was made known by the Secretary to the Gombe State Government, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar Jodi. In the statement, no reason was given for the change. The affected commissioners were Mohammed Alladi Adamu, moves from Land and Survey to Rural Community Development and Cooperatives. Dr. Habu Lahiru moves from Education to Health. Usman Jafunbiri moves from Ministry of Rural Community Development and Cooperatives to Ministry of Lands and Survey. Others are Julius Ishaka moves from Ministry of Youth Development to Ministry of Information and Culture. Dawda Batari Zambuk from Ministry of Internal Security and Ethical Orientation to Ministry of Education, and Adamu Dishi Kupto from Ministry of Housing and Urban Development to Ministry of Internal Security and Ethical Orientation. The governor had also relieved some commissioners of their appointment with immediate effect. They are Al-Hassan Ibrahim Kwame, Information and Culture, Dr. Ahmed Mohammed Ghana, Health, and Mela Audununge San, Special Duties. The statement directed that they are expected to hand over the affairs of their ministries to their respective permanent secretaries. Meanwhile, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya has nominated Mr. Christopher Abdu Buba Maishiru Abdullahi Idris Kwame, and Abubakar Aminu Musa to serve as commissioners pending their confirmation by the State House of Assembly. On business. The exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar depreciated to close at 410.25 Naira to a dollar at the investors and exporters window, where forex is traded officially. This is as the CBN governor has suggested that the official exchange rate has been devalued. Similarly, at the parallel market where forex is traded unofficially, the Naira depreciated closing at 485 Naira to a dollar on Friday, February 26th. This represents 0.42% drop when compared to the 480 Naira to a dollar that it closed on the previous trading day. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has concluded plans to strengthen the Naira and by extension the nation's economy through the $15 billion Dangote refinery. Specifically, the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, who visited the project at Ibeju Lekki, Lagos, said they have taken the decision to sell the crude to the refinery in Naira because they want to impact the economy. In a related development, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has expressed concern about the continuing inability of its international as well as special customers to settle their invoices for services rendered by the market operator. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, in its quarterly reports for the second quarter of 2020, said the failure by Niger, Togo and Benin Republics and Ajakuta Steel Company, which is a special customer, to meet their obligations were compounding the liquidity challenges in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. It, however, added that a Togo electricity company had offset 1.5 billion naira of the total debt owed. It also stated that the refusal of the three tiers of government in the country to settle their electricity bills has become a burden on industry operators. On international scene, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has officially resumed as Director General of the World Trade Organization. As she took up the new role on Monday, the former Nigerian Finance and Foreign Minister said she was eager to get straight to work as the first woman and first African to lead the beleaguered World Trade Organization. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said she was happy for coming into one of the most important institutions in the world, stressing that she have a lot of work to do. She expressed her willingness to go into full business. Hopes abound that the 66-year-old will be able to help the World Trade Organization address a range of towering challenges, including navigating through the global economic crisis triggered by the pandemic. On sports, Olajide Omotayo bout has crashed out by the World Table Tennis Middle East Hub taking place in Doha, Qatar, in the second stage of the preliminary round. Omotayo on Sunday set an African record as the first player from the continent to win a match at the World Table Tennis Tournament after beating Kazakhstan's Alan in the first stage of the preliminary round, with players from Egypt and Algeria testing defeat in all their matches. Pitched against the best player in the German Bundesliga, Sweden's Anton Karlberg, the 2019 African Games champion showed class against his opponent despite going 2-0, 11-8 and 11-3 down in the tie. Omotayo fought back with 11-9 and 11-7 wins to put the match at 2-2. Even in the deciding game, Omotayo was leading 7-5 before surrendering the match to his European counterpart at 11-7 to exit the competition from the preliminary round. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Abducted Zamfara State schoolgirls regained freedom. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepted trucks worth 60 billion naira within 6 weeks. Yola High Court sentences 3 kidnappers to 50 years imprisonment each. On business, naira falls across forex market as CBN suggests official rate has been adjusted. On international scene, World Trade Organization's Director General Okonjo Iweala assumes office. On sport, Omotayo exit, Aruna ready to compete at World Table Tennis Tournament in Qatar. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatano, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.